kind of feel like I should bring back this swear jar for this one. But you know what? I'm just, should I? You guys vote. Tell me what you think. I feel like this one deserves the swear jar. At a bare minimum, my other mug. But anyway, I'll let you decide for yourselves, because this is one heck of a doozy of a comment. I'm also thinking I triggered you, to the commenter. Let's get into it, shall we? There are actually 2 comments, so we're going to get to it all. Just so everyone knows that we're going to get to it all. And I will include the link to the video where the comment was left as well. Oh, you don't like me. You don't like me. Oh, my goodness. You are an ungrateful, spoiled, selfish woman. I hope your daughter treats you in the same fashion. I have 2 daughters and a son and 2 grandchildren, by the way. And you know what? Just as a little treat, let me give you a little snippet of my daughters. This was last year. How cute are they? Delicious, right? Oh. I don't post my son on social media because he doesn't do a lot on social media. It's a respect thing. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. I'm getting distracted because whenever somebody starts out on the attack like this, I just am like, I'm so sorry you're hurting to such a degree that you think it's okay to attack a person you've never met in your life before, all because you don't like my point of view and what I have to say. And it's clear that you have not watched any more of my content, because if you had, you wouldn't have gone so hard-lined with me that you call me, what am I? An ungrateful, spoiled, selfish woman. Anyway. Oh, I love this. Wait until the day your mother dies and there's no healing, no fixing, no grace, no forgiveness. I do look forward. Well, do I look forward? I sort of look forward to the day that my mother actually leaves this planet. I feel like I'm going to have a sense of relief. Not that I have a sense of stress around her, but maybe once she's gone, it's going to feel lighter for me. I have a feeling that's going to be my experience. That being said, she's been dead to me for over 30 years. It's been over 30 years with a little blip in between when she surprise visited me and ambushed me about 17 years in, something like that. And that blip actually could have led to a relationship, but she wasn't looking for any sort of real reconciliation. She was looking for what looked good for her. And when I leaned into that, she discarded me. But it's my fault, right? I'm the bad one. Do you know what a power dynamic is? It doesn't sound like it. I don't know if I'm going to bother explaining it to you. Parent, child, bigger person, smaller person. Parent forms the relationship. Child is powerless to do so. No? Anything? Oh my gosh. You will regret it. Well, so far so good. Not regretting it. Raised my children. They're between the ages of 33 and 41, doing fabulously well. None of them have missed out on the experience of having a toxic role model in their life, a harmful person that would have triangulated them and tried to destroy them, because that's who she is, right? So anyway, and I'm sorry because I know that you're a trauma survivor, and I'm sorry that you've been through some experiences that my content triggers you in this way. However, just because you've gone through trauma, it doesn't give you a license to speak to me in this manner or to attack me. My mother was a motherless daughter. Then I became a motherless daughter, and now my daughter is a motherless daughter. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but you could have put it a little more well, I guess it is pretty simple. So your mother went no contact with her mother. Then you went no contact with your mother, but that's okay, I guess. I'm spoiled and selfish and ungrateful, but you're allowed to go no contact and you're not spoiled and ungrateful and selfish, right? And maybe you're living in regret. I don't know. I'm certainly not. And now my daughter is a motherless daughter. Aha. So now your daughter went no contact with you. It's generational. You really need to show gratitude at the very least for the person who gave you life and fix it while you have the opportunity. Ma'am, do you understand that the reason it's generational is because you hold that attitude? And because you knew what it felt like to be raised by a mother that you needed to break free from it for, well, not your own healing. I don't know what happened there, but you certainly don't appear to have done the work to do better for your daughter. It is generational unless we do something about it. Duh. Way to state the obvious. Your attitude about gratitude and grace and you'll regret it tells me that you felt that you could do the same things in the relationship with your daughter and expected a different result. And instead of looking at my content and seeing where it might benefit you, you've decided to attack me for the healing that you have chosen not to do. That's a shame. I'm sorry that you're no contact. I'm sorry that your daughter is a motherless daughter. I'm sorry that I'm a motherless daughter, and I'm grateful that at some point I figured out going to therapy. And when my own daughter, my eldest, did go no contact for a couple of years, not coincidentally during the time she was in a relationship with my mother, when she came back in and we began a relationship, somewhere in the first, 3 years into our renewed relationship, she came to me with her hurts. And do you know what I didn't say to her? You should be grateful. Because she shouldn't have been grateful. She didn't ask to be here. I should be grateful. And I was grateful that she showed me the grace. That's where it applies. To want to have a conversation with me, to have an open mind with me, to be able to bring her pains to me. And she trusted me. And instead of using that trust against her to shut her down and make it about me, I asked her what she needed from me as I apologized to her. And that included for things that I didn't remember necessarily at all or even the same way. It didn't matter if I didn't have a memory of each and everything that hurt her. And I didn't need receipts either. The fact of the matter was I should have done better because I was the bigger person who brought her into the world. And I made it all about her. And it is all about my children. I don't have my children have me. That's the order it should be in. It isn't for them to be my person. It's for me to be their person. That's what should happen generationally, that we are there for our children so that they can be even better for their children. The cycle can be broken if you do something different. And that is a choice and a responsibility that it sounds like you don't care to take, can't take for whatever reason. And I'm not actually judging you, not the way you judged me. I'm trying to point something out to you. It's generational when people don't decide to do any better and when they keep the lessons they learned on repeat, which it sounds very much like you have. Now let's get into the second comment. Not true at all. Many parents have no, big capitals, idea why their child is behaving in such a way. In what way? Creating boundaries, creating distance, because they're trying to actually maintain a relationship with that parent, and that parent is deciding that they don't have to do anything to deserve that relationship because after all, you have the title mother, so therefore you're entitled to a relationship. Just saying. Stop perpetrating this disgusting cycle of blaming your parents for everything. I'm just going to play the video that you put this comment on so that everybody could see that there was nothing in there where I'm blaming the parents for everything. It's about accountability and healing. And the parent is the one who sets the tone for the relationship. Remember, power dynamic kind of thing? And when that parent just wants automatic grace and gratitude without actually working for it or earning it, well, it ends up in no contact. The video was about when estrangement becomes permanent. I've never said that parents always know exactly what happened. I will say parents do have some idea of where they hurt their children. And because certain types of parents, and I kind of feel like you fall into this category, and some of us at certain times in our lives as humans, especially if you've been raised in a narcissistic family system, and I'll own this for myself, I had to heal this wound in myself. When somebody tells you you hurt them and you did something wrong, oftentimes we hear we're a horrible person instead of recognizing we did something hurtful and that person loves or cares or has enough connection to us to want us to come to the table because we're not actually horrible people. We missed the boat on that. And it sounds like that's what happened to you. You missed the boat. And I hope you find some sort of content that helps you get on the boat, even if it's not mine. When we hurt someone, taking accountability and owning that, or at least owning the hurt that we caused if we don't remember the thing, not going, I don't remember it that way. No. It is, I'm sorry I hurt you. It doesn't matter how I remember it. It matters how my child received it. And instead of saying, I'm sorry that I hurt you and owning that, you go into, I wasn't the perfect parent. I know the language that's involved here with you. I get it. I see it. I may not see your image. I may not know anything about you in terms of your other parts of your life, but I can certainly tell by these comments what's happened here. And I think most of us can. And I remember feeling if my kids looked at me like I did something wrong, I was a horrible person. So I've been in that space. And it was up to me to do the healing work to understand that sometimes we do bad things or hurtful things. I passed down trauma to my kids. I did not abuse them. There's a difference. Sometimes we do things that we're not proud of. That doesn't mean we're a bad person. What makes us a bad person or a bad parent, and I rarely use that type of wording, is the unwillingness to hear our children and take accountability and help them to heal the wounds that we created. That's what makes a bad parent. At the end of all of this, I don't care what you called me. I'm not taking it personally. I think it's more about your feeling about your own child, which is unfortunate. And I really wish you healing. And I hope you find peace. All my best to you, in spite of the fact that you have given me all your worst. And that doesn't make me a bigger or better person. It's genuinely how I feel. I feel like you're really wounded and hurting. And I'm sorry for that, because none of us deserve to be wounded, hurting, be motherless daughters, be mothers without daughters or sons. None of us deserve that in terms of that's not how life should be, and I would wish it on no one. We have to work for the relationships that we want. We have to earn them. I got nothing. I have nothing else to say to you except for I wish you well.